Actually, to clarify, the first point is that they were only technical level of talks. They were not political talks as earlier happened in Doha. The talks were meant to actually lay down some mechanism, and that would be presented to the political leadership. From Afghan side, the delegation was led by their deputy interior minister, and from Pakistan side was a major general from their intelligence agency, and some other officers from the military intelligence. So the last 4 days they were very topsy-turvy turns. On third day, it was almost clear that there is a breakthrough. Both sides had announced that they are almost near to some agreement. I could actually, those who have covered the India-Pakistan talks in the early 90s and 2000 can recall it was just like that, we were expecting a breakthrough and then things restarting once again. But on the fourth day, it became quite very dramatic that this Afghan delegation, when Pakistan was asking for a written guarantees, not that their sovereignty is not breached, the militants should not enter into their territories. The Afghan side countered, and they also asked for the similar guarantees that their sovereignty will not be breached. They mentioned about the drone attacks coming from the soils of Pakistan. They mentioned about the Pakistani Air Force violating their airspace, and that is what the heated exchange took place, and almost talks broke down. Their Afghan side was actually mentioning that almost 80% issues they had covered, only the 20% had actually remained. But these 20% which had remained, almost on fourth day everything had broken down. So there was mentioned that there was actually these talks have stalled, but the hosts, mostly the Turkish intelligence chief Ibrahim Kalin, he prevailed, and then these delegations have once again gone back to the table, and they have actually, now the talks have almost restarted again. But how these talks will now progress, that has to be seen. As I told you, the mediators, particularly the Turkish MIT or the Turkish intelligence chief Ibrahim Kalin, he prevailed in the morning and in the afternoon actually, and the delegations who were actually almost now to go back to their countries, they stayed back in Istanbul. That is the last what we heard. And these talks are also being held in a very secretive place at every Turkish intelligence actually stations. Nobody among the delegations has been available to the press. Whatever has come into the media, they're all datelined from Kabul and Islamabad, where those respective countries, respective this intel agencies are feeding to their media. Nothing is available as such in Istanbul. Nobody has briefed even the press here. But the outcome, nobody knows. So the time, actually, the delay, it works for the Taliban. They have, for the first time, they have actually these Afghans diaspora, particularly who have been very anti-Taliban, they are rallying behind Taliban. But for Pakistan, they need an early agreement, because the attacks are continuing on their forces in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan provinces, and they want an early agreement. As if I can go back to what Taliban used to say, that the Americans have a watch, but Taliban has a time. Right now also this Taliban has a time, and Pakistan has a watch, and Pakistan wants to end this attack, and come to some agreement as quickly as possible. But Taliban has the issue of sovereignty, which actually cropped up in yesterday's meeting. Both sides actually asking for a cast iron guarantees not to breach their sovereignties. It is more and more becoming a tricky issue for both the countries.